Alrighty, welcome into the channel, everybody. Today we are covering Sanguinius, the Great Angel, written by Rant. This is a book about Sanguinius, the Primarch of the Blood Angels, or so you might think. But before we get into that, let me know if you've read the book in the comments below. If you like the video, go ahead and like it and put any recommendations for future books in there as well. And let's get on into this. So, this sounds like a deep dive into Sanguinius's mind, right? Well, not so much. So, this book is written from the point of view of a remembrancer who is assigned to the 9th Legion, the Blood Angels, and also eventually to Sanguinius as well. What a remembrancer is essentially a historian of the Great Crusade. Right before and during the Horus Heresy time, the Great Crusade is what was happening when the Emperor was also crusading through the stars. So eventually he assigned people to the different legions to document the war and for posterity, essentially. So this follows one of those remembrancers who has a little bit of a checkered past. He has written a book that has been more critical of the Imperium of Man, which is what this whole group is called, the Imperium of Man. And his friend is trying to essentially recruit him to become the remembrancer of the Blood Angels so that he will be stupefied by their splendor and essentially hopefully lose that critical mind. We'll see how, once you read this book, you'll see how well that turns out, but that's the idea at the start. What's the basic synopsis of this book? The remembrancer is assigned to the 9th Legion. He knows nothing about them, has to do a ton of research, talks to the Blood Angels and people who work near the Blood Angels, starts to uncover more, delves a little bit deeper, and find some secrets that the Blood Angels might not want widely known, but are not so secrets to the other legions. Who would like it? Blood Angels fans, obviously, you always want to read about the Golden Boy, Sanguinius. You want to see him in stories. But then also some Horus Heresy enthusiasts, like that 30K setting, you might get a lot out of it, is the world building and the ships and everything, because they do come in contact with the Luna Wolves, or Sons of Horus. I can't remember which point they're at that point. How is it written? Is it readable? How accessible it is to, I guess, a first-time Warhammer reader, I suppose, or maybe new to the Blood Angels? It does pretty well. It's not the right way to say that. It does pretty good with describing the Blood Angels for the first time. How they gild everything, all of the masterworks and everything like that. It does read like a historical document, because the remembrancer, main character here, is set to write a book about Sanguinius and the 9th Legion. So this book is written as if it's that book in the story. So that's kind of a cool feature. So the pacing of the book, I guess. There are some exciting points. The first battle is pretty intense when the Remembrancer's Land Raider gets destroyed and he's kind of wandering around the battlefield and has to be saved. But the same kind of thing just happens in the next battle that he's in. So you get a lot of the same kind of descriptions. War is hell, war is dirty, it's stinky, it's brutal. I get it really after the first time. You don't need to do it again. But it does do a good job of making the Space Marines feel epic in comparison. All right, so some of the characters in here, like I said, there is a few remembrancers. So starts with an A, and I can't remember it, and I forgot to write it down. Let me see. Avagis Catenia. I'm going to put it on the screen up here. That's why I'm not saying it. So he's the main character, the main remembrancer, and he has a painter friend, remembrancer, Wadera. And then we have a few Blood Angels, one of the captains, and one of the regular Blood Angels. One chapter serf, which I wish they would have delved into a little bit more there. That would have been cool. And then Sanguinius himself, of course. So most of the time, he is dealing with lower Blood Angels. I say lower Blood Angels, and then the chapter serf he gets a little mention with. That's kind of something. These are people from the world where Sanguinius was found, was the chapter serfs, or essentially regular humans that do menial labor and help outfit the Space Marines for war. There's a chapter of that But that would have been kind of cool. He says, the way he writes it is that he says that they talked all day about things, about this, but you don't get that specific conversation of what they actually said. And that kind of bothers me. He says that they talked about these things, but you don't see what they talked about. You don't see the words. This book is frustrating. It's okay, but frustrating. You get some interaction with different blood angels, but they always seem like they are aloof or don't really care about what his mission is here to do, or that they're hiding something just out of view. So I guess there's that. But the biggest, I guess I'll get into this now, but the biggest gripe I have with this book is that there is not enough Sanguinius in it. There are 3 conversations with Sanguinius, a couple pages each, and the first one doesn't happen until chapter 4. You meet the chapter serfs and get more characterization about the chapter serfs than Sanguinius himself. It happens before Sanguinius. It's a Sanguinius book. But anyway, you get two more conversations, I believe. One in the beginning-ish, one in the middle-ish, and one at the end-ish, and 2 glimpses of him fighting far off in battle. That's it. From a Primarch book, that is not enough Sanguinius for me. And it's annoying because you see him, the way it's described is you see him through a little slit window from a tank, or oh, he was gorgeous and gracious and fluid in battle and things like that. But you only talk to him 3 times and you're his remembrancer. If you know anything about Sanguinius or the Blood Angels at all, you are not going to really get anything new. And that really kind of disappointed me, to be honest. There's just not enough new information about Sanguinius at all, really. The story is mostly about how this remembrancer goes about getting that information and delving deeper into the Blood Angels. Like I said, not even talking with Sanguinius a ton. He's just not really in it. He's almost talked about in a distance kind of thing. And it's not really what I was looking for, to be perfectly honest. So I guess I'll get into a rating now. Let's see what notes I have here for that. Sanguinius, the Great Angel by Chris Rape is kind of a disappointment to me with a Primarch book. At least what you would think of in a Primarch book is you want more information, a deeper delve that hasn't been talked about in any other book or anything like that, but there's really not that in here at all. I had it at a 6 out of a 10, and I'm really gonna push it down to a 5. Just because they talk about the 30k Blood Angels and a little bit of what they were before Sanguinius came around and made them into the Blood Angels instead of the Revenant Legion. But there's just so little. The story is mostly the Remembrancer, and I really don't care about him, to be honest. I wanted more Sanguinius in it. I just keep saying that Sanguinius word, but it is in big letters right here, but not in here. So, a bit of a disappointment. Good for some world building for Great Crusade stuff. A couple little cool moments with the battle scenes and things like that, but really kind of a disappointment overall. But let me know what you guys think. If you've read it before, drop in the comments below what you thought about it. Does it sound interesting to you with the point of view? Or if you have any Warhammer 40k books that you would like me to delve into. I've already read Horus Rising, False Gods. I've got a few other Blood Angels omnibuses in here. Or if you just want to talk about Blood Angels or 40k or anything, just drop it down in the comments. If you like the video, go ahead and like it. Appreciate it. Subscribe if this is something you like. Maybe check out some other videos. And with that, we'll see you next time. Bye.